Welcome everybody to this grand episode of part 2 of the giant books of the library. And, of course, this is in the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, Wallace Ryan!
Yay! So this is our second week in a row and looking at some of the big, beautiful books here in the library.
Because we had way more than what was shown.
Yeah. And so now some of these, I got as many big ones, and then I got a few that are just big and bigger than usual. But some really big ones. Now this one is one of the biggies. This is the Crazy Cat, the Complete Sundays, I think it is. The Complete Sunday collection from 35 to 44 from George Harriman, Crazy Cat. And this is great because this is a very surrealistic series, and the color is where he goes absolutely nuts. We had a look at, I think in last week we had like one of the giant collections, but nothing like this, where this is the Sunday collections where you had the full colors, sort of cartoons with the, and like I say, it was very surrealistic. It wasn't for your average Joe. As a matter of fact, it's rumored that it was only because the publisher loved this series so much that it lasted as long as it did. And look at it's just a totally wild and frantic race through a weird world too. I mean, just the backgrounds and everything like that. It's like it's in some sort of weird wonderland.
There's a policeman always in it for.
I'm not sure what he was in it, right? I actually have to read this, you know. And this is so heavy it's starting to weigh on my arm. Oh, okay. Whew. It was so heavy I actually had to put it down.
Next up we have famous first edition, Fun, the Big Comic Magazine.
This is essentially DC Comics' first comic book.
Is it?
Yeah, and where they had all new material and all that, instead of, because when comic books first started, they were just reprinting a lot of comic strips. But this was like material especially made for a comic, right? Made right from the start for the comic book format. And so instead of being just chopped out from the newspaper and laid out, this was one of the first real DC comics.
Art on this one's nice.
It is, isn't it, hey? It's interesting how sometimes you can find artists from back then who were quite amazing.
This character kind of looks like Oswald.
Well, could be, yeah. There's a lot of cross.
Oh, it is. It is Oswald.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Oswald the Rabbit.
And now this is in a big format. This is sort of supposed to imitate the Treasury editions of the 70s, because I can't remember them doing this one. I'm pretty sure, this is the first time this was ever, but they do it in this famous first editions format. But look, and there's some of those cool ads from way back when.
Oh, yes.
Actually, there's quite a few of those, yeah. And then some other cool artwork. Captain Eric, Buckskin Jim, the Trailblazer. Some of the names too, hey? Caveman Capers, Fun Films. And the paper itself, just feel the paper. Feel that paper. It is kind of strange, but look at it. And it's all in black and white. Except for this one, the Comix. I don't know who did that now. Oh no, that's an ad. Okay.
Is it a comic ad?
Yeah. It just goes to show you. Oh, and there's sort of a thing of who was involved in it. Okay. Nothing really big that I can recognize, but anyway, sort of I like it. It's not as big, of course. Now a lot of these aren't as big as the giant ones that we have here. But some of them are nice and big. Speaking of nice and big, and Little Nemo. This is Little Nemo in Slumberland. So many splendid Sundays. This was a company, Sunday Press, did these. And they did some of those books we had there last week. And I love these folks did some great books. Of course, here we go. It's the I mean, these are the same ones. There's a lot of the same ones are in the complete.
I'm a huge fan of the art for Nemo.
Yeah, and this actually is one of my favorite sequences here, where they're in New York City here, and he's climbing up onto the buildings here. With this, and then they end up in the jungle, and it's I mean, unfortunately the caricature of the native is a little bit dated, but the artwork is just absolutely gobsmackingly beautiful. Gobsmackingly beautiful. Let's go back a few pages here. Oh, yeah. But let me see if I can find another. Well, look, here's those costumes you like so much.
Yes.
These are
That's the era.
the cavorting. But yeah, beautifully done. I mean, I first came across Nemo in the 70s when I was a kid, and a friend of mine, Jerry Porter, was the one who introduced me to him, and loved him ever since. Now this, it's not as big, of course, but this is
Alley-oop.
Alley-oop, boop, boop, boom. And I got the first two. I never did get the third version of this, but this is beautiful because it's in full color. And they're very bright. Now these are a little bit brighter than they would have appeared in the newspaper, but I still like it because it is very bright and colorful. The Adventures of the Caveman. Now he eventually gets hold of a time machine and he comes forward in time and deals with human beings. What's, you know, it started out kind of as a cool caveman strip. But, you know, it was okay. I kind of like Alley-oop. There's something, Alley-oop, boop, boop, something kind of cool to him. Now, back to the big books again. And this is, what is this? 1, 2, 3. This is book number 4, I guess. Da-da-da-da. Comes
Tarzan.
Da-da-da-da. This is the Sunday Comics, 31 to 33. Now this is by Hal Foster, this same guy who did Prince Valiant, that we had that huge book in last week's. Because before he did Prince Valiant, he did Tarzan. And you know, quite beautifully done. He did do a good job. There's 2 or 3 books in this series that I have. And I like these just because, once again, the pages are so darn huge. There's something about big comics that I always liked, right? Here we go, folks. Have a look at Hal Foster, who, as it turns out, is a Canadian. I never knew that until a few years ago. And so I thought it was kind of cool. And one of the great comic strip artists was a Canadian. But this is a really beautifully done book. I think this was done by, was it Dark Horse did this? Yeah, Dark Horse Comics did this. So not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, now.
What do we have here?
This one here, it's, what is it? Oh God, I can hardly read it here. This is by Chris Ware. This is, what's the name of this one again? Oh, well, comes with a comic that comes out of it. This is Monographs by Chris Ware. This was a book that came out several years ago. Some creations. I like it just because it's a nice big book.
Is it a little book? It is.
Oh yeah.
Acme Novelty Comics.
So it's kind of a cool little comic book slash.
I just expect the Roadrunner to be in there somewhere, but it's not.
That is pretty cool though, isn't it, hey? And all these ads. Yeah, I think basically it's, yeah, Jimmy Corrigan. This was one of my favorite books of his. I guess this is, yeah, just a retrospective on his work. So beautifully done. I always did like his. There's just something about his artwork that's so cool.
It's like if an architect had a journal, like this is what I'd imagine it would be.
Exactly, yeah.
Art journal for an architect.
Yeah. Very cool, though, right? And it comes with this. Here it is. Hang on a sec. This thing here, which is kind of like a large newspaper sized little insert.
Did you drop?
Something dropped a. Must have been the. Oh, this was.
I have no idea.
Huh.
Some kind of certificate thing.
Oh, this is something that was. There was a flaw, so this is the correction for whatever the flaw is. So you can tell this is the first printing of this book. Okay, we'll throw that over there. And we're into the final 5, is it here now? 1, 2, 3. Into the final 4.
Ooh.
The
eyes. Shush. The eyes of the cat. Mobius and.
Jodorowsky? Yeah, Jodorowsky. Now this, they did a lot of things together. The Inkle and a bunch of other comics after this.
Oh, look at that nice crow.
Yeah, and this was their first creation together. But what I like about this is that it's fairly wordless. Actually, I don't think there is any words in it. So, and I like the fact that it's done like in yellow paper. Now this, hang on a sec, the drawing of this. Here we go. I love that. The drawing and just beautiful drawings and the story where he starts to see the cat and then the cat coming out of the building and then comes the bird and he comes down and I think he comes after the put that back there, big guy. Yeah, comes after the cat. Meow. Da-da-da-da.
You're giving away the whole story.
So we won't tell everyone how it ends, but it's. I love that drawing there. But anyway, it's very, very much a.
There's really not much to that one, though.
No, it's really just an art piece, more or less, right? So it's. And I mean, I've seen this years ago, and then when it came out in this format, I knew I just had to have it. But I didn't know it was their first collaboration, because I can remember this. I do believe this was in a heavy metal too, right?
Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am.
Hey, knock it off, you. Pussycat. Oh, here, you can take her up into your arms there. This is Lila, the scratchy catty.
She's not scratchy. She's quite the opposite of that.
She's quite the opposite. Okay. There she is. Now, this one here.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
This was one that was in that format that I told you about, in that slightly bigger format, the Treasure Edition ones, the Bible. The most spectacular stories ever told from the Bible. This is done by Joe Kubert, the maestro, and Nestor Redondo. I picked this, it's not because I'm a particularly religious person, but the drawing in this was always quite spectacular. It was penciled by Joe Kubert, and then inked by this guy Redondo, and you can sort of see a bit of both of their artworks in it, but mainly Redondo because he did the inks.
Oh, we have a child.
There's another small child here. You better go fetch him.
Rhea.
Come here, Rhea.
Come here, Rhea. Come here.
No, you stay there.
Keep talking, Wallace. Keep talking.
Anyway, so watch out for the ship there. It's.
Keep talking. Never mind.
Careful! Watch out that thing there. Oh yeah.
Do your thing.
Okay. Be very careful because it's. Don't touch that. It's very fragile
I
there
was
now.
putting it back.
Okay, pussycat. Okay, you got them there. Anyway, the Bible, beautifully, beautifully drawn. Okay, we're gonna.
Why do you have it sticking out like that? Well, look!
Okay, yeah, put her away. Get away, pussycat. Okay, throw her out. She's a menace. Okay, put her out. Anyway, this the artwork here on the Bible stories, absolutely stunning. I mean, look.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
This was done by the guy who he took over drawing Swamp Thing from the original artist Bernie Wrightson, and I loved it. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the Generations of Adam actually, but that does come in. And the Ark. So this is just some of the early stories, but the Tower of Babel, which I always liked. Very cool. And this is the story of Abraham. Like I say, just beautifully, absolutely beautifully drawn. It's like something you'd see from the golden age of comic strips. But anyway, still one of my favorite. And there's Lot's wife.
Oh yes.
It's the pillar of salt. It's funny how she was never named in the Bible at all. She's just called Lot's wife. But yeah, absolutely beautifully done. And I had this one when I was a kid, the original one, right? Now this one here. This is number 9, I think. Yeah, this is number 9 in the 10 big books, part 2.
Yeah, some scratches in that one.
Yeah. Now this one is Behold Galactus. So this is all the stories having to do with Galactus. Come on, where are you going? Where are you going? So it reprints
Go with your sister. Come on.
Basically 48, 49, and 50. Oh, yeah. Get out.
Don't leave, Wallace.
And so this goes 48, 49, 50, and then some other ones. I love the size of it, actually. And this is the first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. There's Galactus there. He was cool because at the time he was supposedly like a villain that was almost godlike. There. Look, I love the what is the collage that Kirby was so well famous for doing. And this is it. There's Galactus. He was pretty cool. I mean, I can even remember as a kid when I first seen Galactus, it was just like, what the heck is this, right? And so he takes on the Silver Surfer, and this one there's good old Silver Surfer. And these are pretty close to the size, I do believe.
I'm getting a gust of wind every time you turn a page.
It is, isn't it, hey? And then this is the very end where he hands him this little, to fight him off, he gives him something called the Ultimate Nullifier. Just looks like a small little device there, but apparently it's something that could destroy the universe if turned on. And so Galactus gives in and leaves, and he leaves the Silver Surfer stuck on Earth. Poor old Silver Surfer. But anyway, it's and this is the I do believe this is the one after too. Well, yeah, as when there's another Galactus story, so it's just filled with these Galactus stories anyway. But it's a heavy thing. I mean, I've been resting it on my leg, and I'm tired already, right? Now, last but definitely not least by any stretch of the imagination, quite possibly the heaviest of all the books here this evening.
It's very thick.
It's very thick. This is
Conan, the colossal Conan.
The Colossal Conan, the famous book. This was, how much was it originally? This was like 165 Canadian, 150 US. But this goes for like hundreds of dollars. It's very much sought after. it has, when Dark Horse took over doing Conan for a while, and they did a pretty good job at it. This contains most of their run from that. I think it was 1 to 50, something like that, or if it was 1 to 30 in terms of Conan stories.
It's so big it looks important.
Oh God! And even the weight, it's just like the. But I mean, beautifully done. Kurt Busiek does the art. There's several different artists. Carrie Nord, and there were a few others. Anyway, absolutely beautifully done. So I mean, this is a lot of the. Oh, and who's it? Greg Ruth. A lot of these are based on the same. This looks like. Not back there. It looked like John Severin. But they're sort of based on the old Conan stories that the Marvel ones were based on too. So some of them are basically like, well, they're not reprints. They're newer versions of different stories and all that. But absolutely beautifully drawn. I got to say, I was quite. As a Conan fan, I highly recommend people pick. Well, you're not going to be able to pick this one up because it's just too bloody expensive. But I do believe Marvel, when they had the rights for it, they reprinted a lot of these. But now Titan in Britain has the license for Conan, and who knows, you may see them reprint them. Oh yeah, Timothy Truman, that was another one of the artists in this. But absolutely gorgeous, and but the weight of it, feel the weight. It's something else, isn't it, eh?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to do a up close sort of look at it for those who are fans. There are a lot of Conan fans out there that'll actually go mad for this. It's beautifully drawn, and if you're a Conan fan, you got to have this collection. And it is definitely, without doubt, even just holding it here, it's just like, oh my God, this weighs a ton. Oh. Think about it. So that was it. Great big books. And I guess next week I'm hoping that we have
a new bookshelf.
Yeah. Well next week is a special birthday episode. I'm hoping to have actually I might buy myself another book for either do new ones, or I might do, if we have them in time, the Terry and the Pirates. The last 3 books in that series have been released. And they're on their way here to me now, yay! And so we'll either do that, or I do have a couple of new books and a general birthday celebration. Yeah.
So where are you planning on putting these new books?
I don't know. Have no idea. They'll have stacks of their own. Actually, that's one of the reasons I want to really clean up the bedroom, is so I can get new bookshelves and shelf a lot of the books that should be shelved, so we can do a grand tour. We haven't done a grand tour. We didn't do a grand tour for 2024, so we got to do a 2025 grand tour
of your hoard.
Of the hoard, yes. As I like to call it, the library. That being said, thank you very much, everybody. It's been fun as usual, and we'll be back. Maybe we should do a special birthday episode on Monday.
And there's nothing we can do about the sound until Wallace gets a new camera.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm speaking so loud and mighty. Da-da-da-da!
I keep telling him the sound sucks. Some of you have told him the sound sucks.
But of course,
there's nothing we can do.
We're working our way there. Slowly but surely.
A $500 camera later, maybe.
Maybe I should do a fundraising. Yeah. People out there want to give us some money, feel free.
No.
Yes. Eventually, I think I will set up a Patreon for the library.
No, we're not for it.
Oh, no. For the library to get us new books. But any publishers out there who want to see their books appear on the show, if you send them to me and they're good, they will appear on the show.
Alright, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, thanks for having us over. Bye! See you!